Hello and welcome to PondHub with Tim. This week I'm dealing with duckweed. It's another blowy day up here on Windy Ridge, so forgive the camera wobbles and the bad hair, but you know, the wind does as the wind does. And today I'm going to be dealing with duckweed. Now, duckweed is a very common phenomenon in a lot of wildlife ponds, and I'm not terribly bothered about it. I will tolerate a certain amount of it. It's actually in some ways quite good for controlling blanket weed because it cuts off light into the pond, and that will reduce the growth of blanket weed. And if I had to choose between the two, I'd choose duckweed in my pond over blanket weed any day. However, certain animals in the pond need sunlight. I'm thinking particularly of tadpoles as they get into late stage development. They need to bask, they need sunlight, so you need some clear surface area in your pond where the sunlight can get in. There's no magic cure for duckweed in my opinion. Some people talk about controlling nutrients, and yes, you can do that. I'm actually quite happy with my water quality. It's beautiful clear water I've got. So my approach to duckweed is just get manual with it, get a net on it and scoop it out. It is also therefore quite a good idea and quite a good opportunity for you to do a little bit of pond dipping, so you can sort of see some of the creatures that are in the pond. So as I start clearing my duckweed, I've got myself a little tub set up here with some water I've taken out of the pond, not tap water, and I'm going to be checking each scoop with my net and seeing what creatures turn up. So it really is just skimming along, moving across the surface of the pond and going for manual removal, and then seeing if I've caught anything else in here. This time of year, one of the things I'm being most careful about is the baby newts, which have not long hatched, are quite small and quite easy to miss. And that all looks pretty clear. And then just I have another tub for the weed. So an hour's scooping later, I have a lot less duckweed on the pond, and I'm happy with that. With duckweed, I'm going for reduction, not elimination. So now the last thing I'm going to do is have a quick look at all of the critters that I've just rescued and then release them back into the pond. I'm sure they'll be quite relieved. So it's quite a nice little snapshot of who we've got living in the pond at the moment. You'll notice there's a couple of adult smooth newts that got caught up in that. There's some tadpoles, pond skaters, water boatmen. There's many snails, both the great pond snail and the ram's horn snails there, which I must admit I have quite a fondness for. And just there you can see we've got one of the early newt tadpoles as well as the frog tadpoles in here. There we are, a nice cross section of what is living in the pond at the moment. Now they've had quite enough of me, quite enough of this tub, and I'm sure they want to get back to their afternoon in the pond. So now I'm just going to very carefully release all of them.